Hello, my name is Telma and you are welcome to my diary. So here on this channel, I talk about my journey as a fashionpreneur. I talk about anything fashion, blog, lifestyle, but the major thing is anything fashion. Yeah, any discussion around fashion business, fashion design, anything like that, we talk about it here on this channel. So today, my first video, I thought of discussing about how to create your collection or how to create your first collection. So recently I just launched my first collection and I launched it on a runway show. So while preparing for that collection, I went online to search for different things. Like I just went online to search for how I'm going to go about this. Since it was my first, I wanted to know everything to do right. But while searching, I didn't really get enough information that I wanted. I didn't really get like somebody or a video or something talking about it in details. It wasn't just there for me. So it wasn't I didn't really see what I wanted out there. So it was just I created this collection from try and error. I'll do this, I'll do that. Is it working, is it not working? I just went ahead and based on the experience I have had in the past. So these were the things I just used to create my collection. So and I felt this should be my first video right there. Since I just did this and it came out successfully, I just felt, okay, let me create this video out here for anyone who wants to create, for any fashionpreneur who is looking at creating a collection or creating their first collection. They should have a resource that will be beneficial to them, or something that will just have everything in one. So I hope this video really helps you, and let's just get right into the video. So today I'll be breaking this whole process of how to create your first collection or how to create a collection into 10 practical steps. So if you follow these steps, you are definitely on your way to creating your collection with ease. This was something I wished I saw, but I'm happy to share with you. So let's just get into number one of so the very first step you need to take, which I did, was to gather my inspiration. So I went on Pinterest app. I went there, I created a folder, and I just gathered in everything I liked. I wasn't censoring anything at all. If it was color, design, styles, whatever it is that I just liked, I put everything into my inspiration folder. Like, they were just into my folder. If I like the design, I like the style, I like the color, everything, I just put in everything into a folder. So why do you need to have an inspiration folder, or why do you need to do this? You do this because sometimes you don't know exactly where to start, you don't know what to do, you don't know what's happening out there, you don't know where your mind won't. As a creative, we have so many things, we are thinking about so many things that we want to do at the same time, so many designs, so many colors. But having this inspiration, putting them together, you can go back and look at it and like, okay, this can go with this color can go with this, or this design is can go with this, I can create something with this. It just gives you, just as the folder sound, the name of the folder is inspiration. When you look at these things again, it kind of spark an interest, spark something, a creative idea or something. Looking at what is there already, what you can do better with it, how you can come up with something better, or looking at what is already out there, how you can make yours different. It just inspires your creativity, inspires something already inside of you to come out. So you really need an inspiration board or an inspiration folder to get started with. So this was exactly what I did. Then the step two, the next step, is to create your theme. Now, as creatives, again, you cannot just put in everything. It's quite easy for us to bring in so many things because it's easy for us to think about it and get them, but you can't bring in everything into a collection. It has to make sense. Your story or your storyline has to make sense. The story in that collection or that collection has to make sense. It has to just make sense. So you need to come up with a theme. A theme helps you streamline your story or helps you bring everything together, all your inspiration. You can just put everything in one place to make it make sense. I hope that makes sense. All right, so working with a team helps you focus on something like put all your direction, all your thinking into, how do I put this? Okay, just like you have so many things in your head, but if you are saying you want to focus on this thing, creating that thing helps you put channel in all your creativity into making that one thing you have decided or you have settled with to make sense. For example, in my collection, I came up with a theme of I came up with a name which is Queen Within. So I chose to go with the queen or royal kind of theme. So choosing that Queen Within as the name of my collection, which it was the theme I was following, meant that I have to create looks that are elegant, right? Elegant and stylish, classy, elegant wears. So also it also meant that I had to work with royal colors. So the predominant color in my collection was purple, because purple is a royal color. Then I also went ahead to look at, okay, what colors go well with purple, right? So I saw orange, I saw fuchsia pink. I got yeah, those are my major colors: orange, fuchsia pink, gold. So because I now have a theme, I'm streamlining all my inspiration to to follow my theme. So even though I've gathered so many things, but coming up with a theme helped me streamline all those inspiration to come into to fit into my theme. I hope that is well explanatory. I hope that is good enough. So that's why you should have a team. It helps you streamline everything you have gathered from everywhere. It helps you streamline it. So this time you are now working with a focus. You have what you are working with. So every other thing you want to do or anything you want to put in must go with that thing. If it's not going with it, it's a waste of time. You don't get to do it. So it helps you bring in your resources and everything, just kind of balance. It helps you stay balanced and know exactly what you are doing. Third thing, or the third step for you to do, is to research trends. Look at what is going on out there, what is reigning out there, what is trending out there. So now I'm not saying go and copy trend like 100%, especially if your brand is not about trends. So don't just go and copy what you see out there. You have to be unique. But another thing you have to do is look at what is going out there. What do people want to have in their wardrobes? Especially, this will be easy for you if you already know your target audience. You know exactly who you are creating your piece for. So if you know exactly who you are creating your piece for, it's easy for you to know the trend or know what it is they are looking for, what is currently trending that your target audience would want to have in their wardrobe. And how can you stay this trend? You are using trend to stay unique. So you are not copying trend or copying exactly what is out there. For example, in my Queen Within collection, one of the pieces was to have a kimono. But yeah, everyone knows a kimono. Everyone probably has a kimono. But how will my own kimono be different? What am I bringing that is unique to my own kimono that is not out there? So I made a detachable kimono. Just as you can see in this video, I made my own kimono detachable. So this is my own unique spin I'm putting to the trend that is already out there. Every woman wants a kimono. A queen can wear a kimono, but how can a queen be different in her own kimono? So I brought up a detachable kimono. So the same way, when you want to look up trends, you want to work with trends, do not just copy exactly what you see out there. What is unique? What is your own uniqueness that you are bringing into that trend? So make research, look at trends, know exactly what you want to do, and remember, streamline everything to fit into your theme. The next step is for you to decide on the number of pieces you want to do. So you want to work with depends on your storyline, or it just depends on what you want. For me, I worked with 10 looks because I launched mine on a runway show and I chose to go with 10. So it was minimum 10, and I didn't want to do too much because my collection was just barely 2 months. It was barely 2 months I decided I wanted to do this, so I didn't want to do more than I can choose. So I just went with 10 looks because I did everything. I'm a solopreneur, so I did everything myself. So I wanted something I can easily do and not get burnt out in the whole process. So I just went with 10 looks. So it depends on you. The number of looks you want to do for your collection is totally dependent on you. The next step after choosing your number of pieces is to decide on the fabrics you want to work with. Depending on the theme you have chosen, it will help you know the kind of or the types of fabrics you want to work with that will best bring out your designs, right? So you know, okay, I want to work with this one, but I want to work with this kind of fabrics, they will best bring out this kind of designs that I want to do. So you have, at this point, you have to choose the kind of fabrics you want to work with. So even if you are not very certain of the kind of fabrics, you just need to have an idea of the type of fabrics that you would like to work with. So when you go to the market, you are open to many other choices, then you really know, okay, exactly which one you have decided to use. At the first 5 steps are the planning stage, from this putting your inspirations together, to deciding on your theme, to bringing in your research of trends and everything, to deciding on the fabrics you want to work with, also deciding on the number of pieces you want to like create for this collection. So all these steps are planning stage, or the mental work stage that you have to put in place. If you can do these steps successfully, the next 5 steps will be a lot easier, more demanding physically, but mentally it will help you. Now, after going through all those 5 steps, the next step is to start sketching your designs. Now you've thought about all the things, now is to sketch your designs. Remember, your designs have to go follow your theme, the theme you are working with. Like I said, I was working with like a royal kind of theme, the queen within. So it was just for me to start sketching out designs that a queen can wear. So even though I'm saying it's everyone every woman is a queen in her own right, so I'm not looking at royalty, per se, all those royal robes like a queen would wear. I'm looking at simple classy pieces that a queen would wear. And also I'm bringing in this Afrocentric style into it, because my brand is all about African contemporary fashion. So I mix both the African prints with the modern prints and modern styles together. I was looking at, okay, bringing the two, marrying the two, to create a collection that a classic queen, or the queen is already classy, right? So I was looking at how a woman would wear any of these pieces and feel classy, feel like a queen that she is already, and just feel classy, simple, classy, comfortable at the same time. So these were the things, this was something in my theme I was working with. So I had to create a collection that would like go around my theme. I had to create designs that go around this theme. So this is why that theme part is something you must not miss, or you must not overlook, or you must not ignore, right? So now it's time to start sketching your designs. If you ask me, I'll say just sketch anything, just sketch as much as possible. I did more than 15 sketches, but I did not use all my sketches, right? So the more you have, the better. Just sketch as many things that come to your mind, and at the end of the day you get to choose, okay, which one will be in your collection and which one will not be in the collection. So just sketch as much as possible, sketching all your designs. You don't have to be an illustrator. You have to really know how to draw, to put your designs on paper as detailed as possible, in a way you would understand it. Just put it down there so that you don't forget. Sometimes when you are thinking about these designs, you are creative at that point, you are coming up with different things, but when you don't put them down, you get to forget and it's gone. So the best thing is sketching your design. Just put them down somewhere in a way that you best understand it, that okay, this is what I want to do here, this is exactly what I was trying to do here. So that's the next step to do. You sketch your design. So now, after sketching your design, the next thing is to go and source for the fabric of choice. Source the fabric of your choice. This fabric you've decided to work with in your collection, is now time to go to the market and source for these fabrics, right? So after sourcing, so there's nothing much to explain here. You just go to the market, you source for your fabric, or if you want to go and print your fabric, or you want to, whichever way you want to get your fabric, it's now time to go and get your fabrics. After getting your fabrics, the next step is to start drafting your pattern. So you may want to draft your pattern before you go for your fabrics, or you may want to go for your fabrics before you go draft your pattern. Whichever way it's fine. So just go ahead and start drafting your pattern. Why should you use pattern? For those of you that are into pattern drafting, so if you are comfortable with using just freehand, it's fine. But if you know how to draft pattern and you're into pattern making, I'll suggest you draft pattern for each of your designs. Why is that? You are creating a collection and you are hoping to sell that collection. You are hoping to sell on a larger scale. You are hoping to get customers to buy your collection. So if you don't draft patterns, you are getting order for those collections. Do you have to go back to start drafting every time you get an order? Do you have to go back and start drafting your patterns afresh, or start cutting, start thinking of the design again from the beginning? But if you have a pattern that you have in place for this design, whenever you are reproducing that a piece in your collection or that collection, you are reducing any part, you just have the pattern that you just need to grade. You can upgrade it, downgrade it to fit in whatever size you are producing again after your collection. So it saves you time even after the collection is out. So that's why you have to work with pattern. But like I said, if you are into freehand, you don't draft pattern and everything, it's totally fine. So there's nothing, it's totally fine. You can go ahead to start drafting or not draft, so it's totally fine depending on what you are working with. After your patterns are out, it's now time for cutting and production. You cut and you produce. So at this stage, if you are the one doing your production by yourself, you cut and you produce. But if you are sourcing out your production, so this is the point where you want to take your fabrics to whoever it is that will be producing your collection for you, or wherever it is they will be producing. So this is when you have to take your designs and everything to them for them to produce. For me, I did all my production myself in my home. I produced all my pieces. So at this point, after I've drafted out my patterns, I went ahead to start cutting and producing. I just went ahead to start cutting and producing all the things I have designed. And the last step, which is my number 10, is this: be flexible. So be flexible. While you are in this production stage, things come up. The design you thought okay was going to be very nice, that you sketched out, sometimes when you are working on it, you see that okay, it's not coming out nice. It could be the fabric, or it could be that you overthought about this thing in a way that is not making sense. So be flexible enough to adjust your plan, adjust your designs to ensure that at the end of the day the whole collection makes sense. Don't don't say it, I said this, it was going to be this, and it will be this at the end of the day. Sometimes while you are working, you get more ideas, you get some ideas that you need to infuse in that design to make it better. When you are flexible, you are going to incorporate in those things you are getting, those ideas you are getting, to make your collection better. So don't just insist that this is what I said I wanted to do from the beginning and this is how it's going to be to the end. No, be flexible. Be flexible while you are producing. When you see things that you can do better, that can make your collection better, incorporate them into that collection. And when you see things that are not going to make it look good, you can just go as well as take them out. So sometimes your fabric of choice may not be the right fabric for that production. You be willing to be flexible enough to look at something else, like okay, what else can I do? Don't just say I have said I was going to start out with this and this is what I am going to end with. No, be flexible while creating your production. So these are my 10 steps. These are the 10 steps I followed. So these are from personal experience. These are the steps I followed to create my collection, and it came out successful. If you follow these steps I've broken down, you are on your way to creating a successful collection. So I hope this video helps you. If you find it useful, please do to subscribe to the channel. We are just growing here. We're just starting out. So subscribe to this channel, turn on your bell notification, share the video, like, and leave a comment below. It will help me a lot. And thank you, and I'll see you in my next video.